Okay, this is better.
Hey, light. And the
Thank you.
connection's fast.
So far.
All right. So, oh yeah, I was back doing the hair thing. Today,
Do it as long as you can,
we're
babe.
going to talk about... oh, that's as long as I can.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, wow. What did you mean?
As long as you got it.
Okay. Hi again. Oh, no, Nathan. All right.
Okay, so
Today I want to talk about the byproduct that nobody talks about, the side effect of going to marriage counseling or to a marriage group or just working on your marriage. And the first side effect is fighting. You're going to fight, and you think it's counterintuitive. Thanks. You think it's counterintuitive to the reason why you're going, because you might be going because you are fighting. But the problem is that you start fighting because you actually start communicating. And that's what we're talking a lot with everyone that talk to about marriage, is that the way they communicate, how they communicate. There's an exercise that we do. It's kind of, this is what I hear you saying. And the this is what I hear you saying statement allows me to understand exactly what I'm actually telling Tammy. She's like, I hear you say this, and that's completely the opposite most times of what I'm actually trying to communicate. I think earlier this week I was talking with her, and I could see the frustration, some hurt, and I'm just like, that's not what I'm trying to communicate. And I've tried, to reiterate the same sentence 16 different ways so that I can communicate with my wife of what I'm trying to say. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that along with going to marriage counseling or working on your marriage, is that everyone says, hey, we want more tools. But the problem is that there isn't a tool that anyone can give you.
but I want a hammer.
But
If I had a hammer.
only if you had a hammer.
Maybe
The
so.
hammer...
Okay, there's a cat. This is not your
Bad
video.
cat. The hammer might not work for you in your marriage. So instead of just giving you a tool to try, it's up to you to develop your own tools. This is what I hear you say is a tool that we developed, and it really helps with us because it diffuses arguments, because at that point it's very clear that I'm not communicating, or she's not communicating what she actually wants to me. So then at that point...
I'm just not hearing it right. I am not hearing this right. This is what I hear you saying. I feel defensive.
She never hears it.
I figure I should talk a little bit in this.
Oh,
So...
okay. Speak.
No. I'm just saying that I hear you saying this to me, and this is the way it makes me feel, and this is what I hear. No, that's not the way I meant it. Okay, that's the way it came out. But we can get really defensive. I think it would be like, and instead of storming off, I think the other person that's receiving the information still needs to be gracious. And I thought it was really good tonight, the way you were talking about finding the baseline of... how did you put it, where someone's like, okay, here's the way I need to communicate. And the other person might go way beyond it, but then this person needs to go, no, that's not the way I hear it. It needs to come back. Okay. And it's just a matter of figuring out how to communicate. And it's not a matter of, well, that's just the way that I am and you need to hear it. You're not on your own anymore. This is a partnership between two people. I have to be considerate of how he's hearing it so that I can get my needs met and that he can understand what I'm saying, and vice versa. And it's a partnership to try to understand each other, and it's a process. I'm not going to understand him my first year of marriage, and yeah, exactly. But it's maybe one tool that goes in the box, and then the longer you're married, you just get more tools, and pretty soon you're a regular old handyman.
Hand with a belt.
Big old tool.
When we were first married, she would...
Did
I was
Twitter
very...
pated?
I was
Did I
Twitter
fluster
pated there,
you?
yes. Whoo, my toolbox is large. Okay, so...
Wow! That was a little TMI.
So she would say, you're yelling at me, and I would say I'm just starting to communicate. We didn't have any tools in our toolbox, so the communication was very rough, and newlyweds.
I'm sorry, I can't get over your large toolbox.
Anyways, so it's still that way today, that I tend to yell in communication, and she thinks I'm screaming or yelling at her, and it's not. I'm just raising my voice and communicating, or I'm excited
At a high volume.
At a high volume, and
I do the same thing.
And it's not out of anger. It's just more of passion. I'm passionate when I'm arguing.
And you're not very fair when you argue.
I'm
either.
not very
When you really want to be, you're
fair
not
at all.
fair, and
Let's
that is tough
discuss
because we don't have fair fights all the time. It's like, hey, calm down. This is not working, and you either need to, part for a minute and let's take a breather and come back, or someone needs to be the calm, gracious person. Because if you both start getting defensive, then it's like, now you're throwing boulders, and you're just like, well, this is you, and you this, and me this, and then it's just there's no solution, and there's no end result.
You end up looking like this at the end of the day, and it's
Pretty
not
much.
worth anything. She
No.
looks like this normally. Anyways, so oh. The other thing that I wanted to go over is that very quickly is
We're losing people
nurturing,
rapidly,
bonding and nurturing. So
dropping like flies.
do things with your spouse. Go out and do something new. Bond like you used to. When you started dating, you used to go do fun things, kite surfing or whatever, and go do those things again, or do something brand new that you haven't done before. It bonds you together. It gives you a new experience together, and it gives you a new lasting memory. And then you nurture that memory because you now have a story that you could tell together. Hey, remember that time we did that one thing that we don't do that often?
That one thing with that one guy.
Yeah. Anyways, so
a little bonding.
Work on
We're like this. One mind.
VeggieTales, Jonah, look it up.
Working together.
Anyways,
All right.
so just work on that. Just work on communicating with each other. Try the "this is what I hear you say" trick and see how quickly that diffuses or escalates an argument. And if it escalates your argument, maybe you're doing it at the wrong time, or it's over something
Timing's
stupid.
wrong.
But
Yeah.
do it when you're calm, maybe over dinner, and go, hey, tell me something new about yourself. We Google search often a bunch of questions that we ask one another just to find out something new about your spouse that you've never known before. And it can go on some weird, wild tangent that you never thought of. That mine
'Cause
did,
I'm
and
in
it ended a date very poorly. Anyways,
Because I'm in a lifelong, University of Tim that I'll never graduate from.
no, you won't. Anyways,
Right. We love
she's
you all.
weird. Have a
Love
good one.
on each other. We'll talk to you next week.